solution to this your pollution right now. Yeah. Got to find a solution to this pollution. Promises won't help. You got to find a solution to this pollution. We've been waiting for a solution to this pollution. Once upon a time there was a man.
It's U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Today we have a special guest in on the show, douglAR Radio with U97.5. Yes, sir?
Yes, Koki, thank you very much. I would have been here for the last 2 weeks as a guest. My name is Safraz Ali, former councillor for Sour East and also current director with the Agricultural Society of Trinidad and Tobago. I am very honored and very pleased to be here, Koki. I mean, this is the number one listen to and watch program. Of course, all because of our dynamic Senator Arnold Roberts,
yes,
who would have been championing and still championing the cause of the poor and the downtrodden and the voiceless in society. Yes. Senator Arnold has been dynamic and continues to be, and he is a shining light of what it is to fight for the poor people of Trinidad and Tobago and fight against the oppressive policies and tactics being utilized by this wicked PNM government.
Wicked, you say?
Very, very wicked. Tonight, I was asked to host the program. We are hoping that Victor Roberts will join us at some point in time, very, very last notice. And he is coming way, way down from Labre, but Victor is a soldier also. My brother in this fight and in this struggle, and we really hope that the Almighty brings him safely to studio, and we continue, right? So, Koki, it is my honor to be here with you,
of course,
and I know that you will give me as much technical support as possible in the background, and also
we're gonna have a great show.
And also, Koki, I know that you also have a very deep knowledge base of current events here in your contribution on the background.
I started the program, the things I've been hearing, that's where but I've never been into politics and so on before. But it's amazing to know the stuff I'm hearing here on douglAR Radio.
Yes.
Yes. It's an awareness.
Well, to be honest, boy, Koki, all right-thinking people of Trinidad and Tobago should have that mindset that definitely something is wrong with the way how our country is heading. And with the way how the PNM is running the country. Basically, we in this radio, one of the things I like about this radio program is that we don't hold back words. I mean, we don't be disrespectful.
No.
We don't border on illegal activities, but we say it as it is. And we identify with the plight of the common man because we feel the pinch too. You know, Koki, I told you last day that I cannot even full tank of gas again.
No, yes, boy.
I cannot full tank of gas again. I have to be chinksing and paying a quarter gas, a half tank, and watching my every movement with my van.
But what wickedness is this, boy?
Right, Koki, let me tell you something.
And everything going up now in the grocery store.
Everything keeps going up, right? But considering that gas, right? Ever since they closed down Petrochin was giving us through the refinery one of the best quality gases, right? Oh, that gas used to last long in our vehicle. As soon as they closed down Petrochin with their wickedness and their lies, because they keep saying that they wasn't closing down Petrochin. By no less than the Prime Minister himself.
Yes.
We are not going to close down Petrochin. We are not going to close down Petrochin. But it proved to be a FAX statement, a fact statement. Right?
So did he tell us lie to get in power?
Well, I really don't know what he did. But whatever he did, looked like the Lekoto effect strong with him. But let me tell you this, and I'll tell Trinidad and Tobago this. Whatever effect he has, the Almighty said and says that good will always triumph over evil.
Yes.
So let him and let his government continue in their oppression of the people.
Yes.
In their wickedness, in closing down Petrochin and firing all those people who were working hard. People committed suicide because they couldn't get a job after. Right? People still waiting on their compensation up to now. Even from the Carney 1975 days also, people still waiting, and they closed down Carney 1975 on that previous PNM regime. So what I'm saying is that with this gas, it burns so quickly. You don't even have time to catch yourself, because by the time your tank went going from from half tank to quarter to zero within a space of a day, right?
Yeah.
That gas very volatile and it burns so quickly that you want to know what quality of gas they import in. Paria, please make full disclosure because this is a matter of public importance. Paria, where are you all getting your gas from and what price we are paying for it? The people needs to know. That is public information. It's a public interest information, right? What's the big secret? But you see, the characteristic of this government is that they hide behind a 3-word clause, non-disclosure agreements. You know, that is confidential information and it's protected by a non-disclosure agreement. So the average citizen, like you and I, Corky, we don't know how much they're paying for the gas and the diesel that comes to our vehicle and who they're getting it from and where they're getting it from and what is the quality of it. Because in my personal opinion, that gas burning real fast.
Yeah.
And it's not lasting in your vehicle.
Yes.
And from what I'm gathering, it's damaging certain types of engines and so on too. Both gas and diesel, right? So these are things that are of national interest that should be investigated. But like everything else, PNM just sweeps it under the carpet because they feel that they control and they manipulate the will of the people.
How long do we have to wait for an election, the general election? How many years we have again? 2 years?
Well,
a year?
It constitutionally due in 2025, but Corky, I'm telling you, 2025, that's well, about 3 years again, right? But I'm telling you, Corky,
Yes.
that the people are fed up now.
That's too much suffering.
Yeah,
too
boy.
long to wait, boy.
Too much are suffering, and a local government election is constitutionally due sometime this year. Sometime this year. And I am asking and begging all my fellow citizens outside here, brothers and sisters, that when that election bell rings, vote the PNM out, vote that wicked PNM out in all corporations.
Gosh.
And let the momentum start from there. And send that signal that the people so fed up that we're not taking it again. Cocky people don't have money to buy food, brother.
Yes.
I tell you, people haven't eat. I got a WhatsApp from a young lady. She said, it's months she haven't had a nice meal of barbecue. My heart broke in 1,000 pieces. And is somebody lives about 3 streets away from me. Right?
Yes.
We were doing a fundraising barbecue today. I'll tell you more about that a little later on, Corky, in St. Joseph, right?
Okay.
Under the auspices of the Senator, the Honorable Annie Roberts, as coordinator for St. Joseph.
Right.
It has been a big success, by the way. I'll come to that in a minute.
All right.
But when I mentioned it to the young lady and asked her if she wanted any ticket, she said, boy, I can't afford a ticket, boy.
Wow.
She can't afford to buy a barbecue ticket. And
This
it's
is real
months.
sad. This is real sad, but
She hasn't eaten a nice barbecue meal.
this is really sad.
Boy, Corky, I felt real sad for her. I felt real sad for her.
I just thinking about it and it's as if I get a headache, man.
Yeah, she has a son, a teenage son. She sends to school everything, and is a single parent.
Yeah.
She pays rent on her own. She babysits for a living. She babysits a baby. So
Yeah.
the struggle is real outside there, Corky, because she from
Yes.
that babysitting stipend. I can't even say it's a salary, it's a stipend, really. She paying rent. Whatever little bit extra she had to buy a little bit of groceries with it. And
know,
that's the end of that.
This thing's so bad. Last night I met a guy walking in the street. He didn't even have a slippers on. I took off my slippers and I gave it to
Boy,
him.
Corky, boy, you're making it here on my hand
He
raised
said,
when you tell me
"Boy,"
that,
I said,
big.
where's slippers, guy? He said, I don't have one. I can't get a slippers.
That's the reality
I
outside.
took off my slippers and I gave it to him.
Okay, I don't know if you're familiar with the Islamic religion, right? But in Islam, we have 2 types of, we have a number of different charities, but they have like zakat, which is to purify your income
Yeah.
after a year if you have savings. If you have savings, 'cause right now I don't know how much people have savings under this wicked government. But if you do have savings, you pay something called zakat, and there is something also called sadaqah, which is another type of charity. So I went to the mosque today, this afternoon, just before I came here in El Socorro, and a young guy was saying, boy, if I have any sadaqah for him. I said, no, boy, I have no sadaqah, boy. It hasn't been a while for me also, you know. It has been difficult for me to get a work outside there. And I have a first degree, I have a master's. I have management experience in different organizations.
Yeah.
And since 2018, Corky, it has been difficult for me also. And the young guy, I mean, he was so disappointed. I said, boy, I have nothing right now to give you. And he said, boy, watch this. And we went outside the masjid, and he showed me the shoes that he went on. The shoes, like, splitting in 2.
Yeah.
He said, this is what I had to work with. I can't even afford to buy a proper shoes now. And that's the reality outside there. All thanks to Keith Rowley. And this band of rogue ministers that he have on them who keep mashing down the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
What is the reason they're doing this for?
Cocky.
Why?
Is
it because
they
they
have a
know-
school of thought, right? That they have two reasons for this.
Right.
Number one, they just don't care about the people. I'm telling you, they care about themselves, their finances, and the certain interest groups that they want to push. As verified by the Prime Minister himself when he said that our policies, the PNM policies, is geared towards making the rich get richer. The Prime Minister said that in a public forum. He said that the policies of this government is to make the rich get richer so that they can hire more poor people. That making sense to you, boy Cocky? Why you don't try to empower the poor people and the middle class income people? What madness you want to make the rich get richer? That is totally reverse. So that is one reason they don't care, right? And but they only care about themselves and the rich and the certain percentage. I don't want to say the percentage because people say that, really. And also the second thing is that they are totally incompetent and inept.
Yes.
And a square peg in a wrong hole, basically. Because I cannot see any shining light at all where this government is involved in. A little baby I saw on Facebook recently, a little baby got turned down Cocky. The little baby, he has to get life-saving heart surgery. Costing a little over $1 million, TT.
Yes.
$1 million, so this in 2017 they had applied and they were turned down by that institution called the Children's Life Fund, if they still existing.
I can't understand.
The Children's Life Fund turned them down. Didn't give them a proper reason. They say, you have not qualified for help in this situation. But please feel free to write us for any further information. So they're rubbing it into the parents.
People
And 2017, and that baby needs to get 3 major surgeries. I think they were able to muster up the money for 2, and there is the third surgery now, which is the most vital one. 3 years down the line, which is 5 years down the line. Yeah, somewhere around there, yeah. But from what I saw, is a series of surgeries to rectify a blood flow problem with the heart. And the third and final surgery is so vital for them, and they got the date somewhere in June, I think June 17th, if I'm not mistaken, in a children's hospital in Florida. Costing over $1 million, a little over $1 million for the whole thing. And they have to stay, the baby will have to be in ICU for like 10 days, and each day is $2,500 US per day that the baby will be staying there for. And they turned down the parents since 2017. And the parents now has to go and try to get the donation because, Cocky, are you a parent?
Yeah.
Right, and I am a parent too. Cocky, if something God forbid happens to our child, we will try to do anything to save,
of course, yes.
even if it's to give up our own life too.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And that is the plight of parents when they have to literally save the life of their children by going wrong and asking for funds because this wicked government and the wicked Children Life Fund that they have now looks like they turn down more than they approve. Right? And let us compare 2010 to 2015. The Children's Life Fund was started by the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesa. But Cocky, it doesn't stop there, no? She actually made it mandatory for all her MPs and cabinet ministers to give up 10% of their salary into the Children Life Fund. Cocky, that's not performance.
Yes, indeed.
You think this Prime Minister want to give up 10% of his salary and divert it into the Children Life Fund? If he wanted to, he'd have do it long time. He in charge for 7 years now. Nothing close to that coming up. He shut down the laptop program, and I saw him last week posing with how much? 25 or 35 laptops to share out in a couple of schools in his area alone. So what happened to the rest of Trinidad and Tobago? Those children are not children too? Cocky, when I see things like this, boy, my blood is start to boil, boy.
But how
it's an injustice to the population, boy.
How
Cocky.
is this wicked thing going on and everybody just allowing it? What can the people do to stop or save lives? People committing suicide, all kind of things,
Cocky.
murders, crime going up.
Correct. Correct. And it falls directly because of the policies of this wicked government. And you're correct, it's a frustration enveloping the nation right now. There's a frustration, and people are fed up. People are lashing out in various ways. The bandits are getting more brazen, more brave because they have more sophisticated machine guns. Where the machine guns coming from? Where? This minister said that what is not his job to make these citizens safer. That's something he said.
Yes. That is not their responsibility.
That's not his responsibility.
Yeah.
So then what? So then that ties into the guns coming in free shit into the country.
I don't understand.
And then you catch him sleeping on himself in a press conference. So he's literally sleeping on the job.
I just
Guns
don't
coming
understand. I don't understand.
Left, right, and center. But they had laughed at Kamala Persad when she said that she would make sure Trinidad has a dome. And the dome, I see the PLM propaganda machine, they're good. And they like to spread false information. Right? The dome that the honorable political leader was talking about was all encompassing protection of our borders.
Yes.
Koki.
Yeah.
Be it by land, by sea, by air. So we would have a proper air guard and proper measures both in the air level, the sea level, and the land level. Unfortunately, under this government, we have more porous borders than anything else.
Yes.
Right? And that is a reality. So you ask yourself what these citizens could do, Koki.
Yes.
You see programs like this, Koki. We spread the word that the people fed up and the people not taking this again. People need to start to be more active and more vociferous. Right? In our religion, they say when something evil is happening, you hate it with your heart and as the lowest form. Or fight back, you could fight back. Right? You hate it with your heart. And then if the other level, you hate it with your mouth, where you're talking about it. And the third level, which is the highest level, you hate it by action. You do something physically about it. Now, I would never propagate anything illegal, right? With respect to the laws of our land.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that it is all right to voice our opinion because that is the foundation of democracy. Because if people cannot voice their opinion, then they have no democracy in their country.
When they come out to voice their opinion, they're getting tear gas.
Well, that is our next thing.
So what's good?
I was there in our first pushback movement.
Yeah.
When my fellow councillor, Ahmed Suknanan from Arangwes, he was arrested. All he told the officer, why you man handling the old man for? The old man was walking away.
Yeah.
And we heard the instruction, take he, the old man. So Councillor Ahmed Suknanan went and said, officer, get the man walking away. What are you doing? And the senior officer said, take he too. We didn't take the councillor. And that is how the councillor, I was right there. That's how Councillor Ahmed Suknanan got arrested. I went with her live on it. And people saw for themselves, you're correct, people saw for themselves when riot police descended on innocent people that were standing up for a cause, standing up for you and I, that enough is enough. And since then to now, more things has happened. More things, for example, the price of gas went up. That's so drastic, making things harder for everybody. Crime has gone up. COVID spreading like mad. All over the place. School children getting it, parents getting it, teachers getting it, old people getting it, and the elderly people are succumbing to the COVID. Because of the mismanagement of this government. It's in all sectors, Koki, they're doing up. Paka.
Yeah.
I don't want to say the word. But if the audience know what word I'm going to say, do not Paka.
Yeah.
Outside there, in the government. Right? And that's the reality of it. Well, Koki,
Nice. Really
I would like to say.
I wish somebody could call in and let me say some prayer.
Yeah.
we
I
need
for
some
that
prayer,
if
we need
anybody
some
outside
prayer
there before we actually start the substandard, because I have a few bombs to drop myself,
Yeah.
considering Mr. Foster Cummins
Okay.
and some of his shenanigans. Right? I have a few bombs to drop too on that. Right? Already out there in the public.
Well, as soon as you're ready to
Yeah.
take calls, the number is 218-7762 if you wish.
Yeah, well, Koki, open the line. Let's somebody
Yes,
say a
call
prayer
us
and then we
now.
start, yeah?
Yes, we need some prayer. I don't know if
Anybody there, Koki?
Pastor Kelvin Khan could call us and say a word of prayer. That would be great. 218-7762. That's the number to call here on U97.5. We have a call coming in, sir. All right, let's take this one. Let's see who's on the line. Hello?
Good night. Hello?
Your radio is too loud. Load down the radio and then we'll talk, right?
Okay. Hello?
Hello?
I understand sometime this week, a police motorbike was in front of a truck. It appeared that a truck brings equipment from Israel and a police behind. Went to Barataya police station. Get and investigate that. Sometime like this, last week or this week. Some spying equipment look like.
All right.
Okay.
All right, thanks for calling. So make your contribution and we'll respond to it. Yes.
Anybody there, Cookie?
He's talking about some
Caller?
yeah. 218-7762. 218-7762.
Well, Cookie, if nobody outside there, we could
yes.
we could actually start now. We always start in the name of the Almighty Creator.
Yes.
The beneficent, merciful. We ask that He protect us, He guide us. He make the plight of the downtrodden and the suffering less hard for us. He grant us food, He grant us jobs,
Yes.
grant us safety from the COVID. And anybody afflicted with any afflictions and health issues outside there, we ask that Almighty Creator, You grant them ease and speedy recovery, because only through Your merciful name, Almighty Creator, that these things are possible. Only through You. Amen.
Yes. We have a call. Yeah. Hello, caller.
Good afternoon, sir. Good evening.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I want to find out something. You see, all of you talking. I listened to a lady on the radio. She children and have food to eat. They see the trouble they have, but she loves she PNM. Now, that is one thing. The other thing I want to find out is this. Camille Robinson Regis, the bank deposit she make, is the police investigating that? Alwari and the two children, are the police investigating that? Darrell Smith and the $150,000. And now we have Foster Cummins and this thing here. The Prime Minister give Judith Jones a job to do with the Children Authority, right? And he want to take action on that. You have a special branch report since 2019. Is he taking any action on that? Where is the police service? Is the police service a PNM party group? Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, caller. Okay, I just want to say welcome to our warrior from Labe, Mr. Victor Roberts and his family. We also have Jeffrey, very intelligent young guy, and I'm very impressed with Jeffrey also and his information that comes out also. So welcome to these two soldiers of our country.
Welcome.
Where they're fighting for the rights of the poor and the oppressed and the downtrodden. Welcome, Victor.
Welcome. Pleasant good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. Of course, welcome to U97.5 FM Hot Like Pepper. Of course, today I am here and the show will continue. We want to do what we have to do. I know that my colleague have some information that you want to disseminate, and we will give him the full opportunity to do so. So at this time, we will pass back over to him.
Thanks, boy, Victor. So basically tonight, I just want to say two of us will share. Okay. Basically, I just want to share this information here, right? And I would like to start by stating that the Honorable Senator Jayanti Lakshmi, she would have dropped a bomb, boy Jeffrey, about 2 Mondays ago, right? Or it was last Monday, concerning a special branch report on No, that was Monday. I'm on the night for a meeting here. I think it was last Monday or this Monday before. I can't remember. But the special branch report was dropped. And it was a bomb, basically, because we had special branch officers who would have been doing their investigation, and they would have compiled a report on alleged actions from, at that point in time, he was a senator. Senator Cummins, Foster Cummins. And then, so allegedly the actions were going on from that period of time when he was a senator. And TV6 would have run a report, an investigative report 5 years ago, Victor, on the said, right? On the said actions. Because people were complaining in the Kuva area about certain thugs coming and taking their land from them. And they were calling the senator name, the thugs, and saying, well, so and so is happening, and we're taking over the land now, and whatever it is, right? And that information was captured in the special branch report, which would have been forwarded to the Prime Minister. But instead, what the Prime Minister did, we don't know if he acted or if he didn't act. But we know what happened after. The Prime Minister selected Foster Cummins to be the candidate for Laokita Talparo in the 2020 general elections. So that come like a promotion. And then, well, he won the election against Senator Julian John. Still trying to figure that out because she is a warrior princess, boy, Victor. Julian John is for the people. I am telling you. I know the lady personally. She last dollar in her pocket, she will give somebody. Just to help out that person. She doesn't think about herself. She thinks about our country. Everything is for the benefit of our country. But I wanted to start this discussion, Corky, Jeffrey and Victor, by reading the response given by Senator Jayanti to Foster Cummins lawyers, because Foster Cummins lawyers would have written her a pre-action protocol letter basically telling her that if you don't do so and so and so, we're going to take certain action. And I have the utmost respect for this Senator Jayanti. 2 days ago, she put this message out to the open. I'm reading it from Facebook, from her Facebook profile. I have today received a pre-action protocol letter from the embattled Minister Foster Cummins requesting an apology and compensation. After fighting off the strong temptation to throw it in the dustbin, and I agree with you, Senator, that message really belonged to the dustbin. I continue. I decided to pass it on to my attorney, the former Attorney General and Senior Counsel, Anand Ramlogan. I would like to inform Mr. Cummins and all other accused land grabbers, in case that they are unaware, that I have donned my robes and bands for the past 15 years in defense of the truth, justice, and the rule of law. As such, I have a lot of court clothes. I strongly advise that they too should invest in appropriate attire for the courthouse. Boom! That is woman. The woman is standing up for the rights of the poor people in this country by that response. I'm telling you. The woman is saying, the Honorable Senator Jayanti is saying, I am not afraid of you. And I will stand up for the rights of the people. Because the information that was given to her, Corky. And that's the next thing, Victor. Instead of looking at the contents of your report, both the Minister of National Security and the Commissioner of Police is disappointed by how the report reached Senator Jayanti. So they're trying to shoot the messenger. With all this talk that they talk. With all this talk they're talking about whistleblowing technology, whistleblowing law and so on. Victor.
Well, as for me, I would consider that pre-action protocol letter not only as garbage, but also as a distraction. You see, I am one of the individuals who tend to believe that truth need no clothes, Corky.
Yeah.
You don't put on a tie like that beautiful tie you have on tonight, there, Corky, you know, and that blue shirt. Corky, by chance, is that a wedding somewhere today or something? Because
a lot of things happening at the station. So
yeah, I think that you outdressed the team today, Corky.
Yeah,
But Foster Cummins, back to Foster Cummins. That pre-action protocol letter, as far as I am concerned, is just a distraction. Another distraction, another P&M form of distraction. Because, you see, what Foster Cummins and his attorney have to do is to send a pre-action protocol letter to the special branch.
Yeah.
Because the special branch who represent the TTPS from this investigative position, where they investigate those who may very well be candidates, those who are selected, those who are potential candidates, looking at their background, looking at their conduct, looking at their associates, looking at their intention in relation to national security and national security interests. They do all of these things. They would look at those prospective candidates. They will look at your associates, look at what you do, how you do it, if there's any allegation of wrongdoing, and they will dig into the depths to find out if what they are learning is so or not. So once this report, this investigation took place, and that file was submitted, what Foster Cummins and his lawyer need to do is to find out why this file was not sent to the Director of Public Prosecution, who has the authority to advocate further investigation or to put any individual before the court. So I don't waste time with this gimmick with pre-action protocol letter. Foster Cummins, there is a report that was sitting on a shelf. What the people of this country need to find out is why this report was sitting there for so long, why it was not sent to the appropriate authority who have the vested power to do what ought to be done in this case. So the fact remain is, Foster Cummins, the question remain, are you occupying land that is not your own? Question. Are you, Foster Cummins, taking land that belongs to Caroni 1975 Limited? Question.
HDC.
To HGC, sorry. Question. The fact remain is there is questions to be answered. That is the bottom line. So all this poppycock and this hogwash and this political games that the people play, that is not important to me. A caller called earlier on while I was on my way and listening, and the caller was drawing reference to the $143,800 investigation with Camilo Amazureges. And the caller was asking, is it that the TTPS is now a PNM party group? Caller, I could answer that question. When there is a political appointment to the TTPS at the hem, then what that tells you is that this appointment will have to act in the interest of the appointee. That is what it is. And why people want to play games and believe that this is some kind of political feud from the UNC to the PNM. This is facts that is sitting, and there is answers, there is questions that need to be answered. That's the bottom line. So I am not going to waste time and study Foster Cummins' attorney, whether they choose to send what letter. That is not the fact or the gist of the matter. We don't want Foster Cummins to be sending a pre-action protocol letter asking for apology and asking for some kind of compensation. What we want, Foster Cummins, is you to answer the question. Yep. That is what we want. Answer the question. Is it or is it not you are in possession of lands. Is it or is it not that you have conspired to utilize whatever authority you have in order to manipulate any contracts within the HCC? Those are simple questions, Foster Cummins.
Correct.
Simple questions. So while you're sending the pre-action protocol letter, we will advocate that you send the answers alongside those or that pre-action protocol, clearing your name and proving that the special branch report is fake and that the special branch report is a conspiracy in relation to your character. Outside of that, shut your mouth, send the answer. That is the bottom line. Clear your name with the answer, Mr. Man. That is the bottom line. That is what we asking.
Nice. Victor, I like how you put it in perspective there. No, Victor, I have another question. I'm going to share. Well, I'm going to ask Mr. Foster Cummins, right? And it arises out of a report from the Express, the Trinidad and Tobago Express newspaper, right? From a reporter called Dunstan Bond. And the headline is, Chairman, no approval granted. And they're talking about the chairman of the Cuba Tabaki Talparo Regional Corporation, Mr. Henry Awong, right? And I'll just read through certain snippets real quickly for you to bring everybody up to speed, right? So members of the Indian Trail Village Council have denounced the decision taken by the Cuba Tabaki Talparo Regional Corporation to put a stop to volunteer work being done in the development of the Indian Trail Recreation Ground. So, let's continue. In a press release yesterday, the village council stated that with the Indian Trail community of Cuba being without a recreational facility for decades, it took a decision in 2019 to undertake a volunteer work program to establish a recreation ground on a parcel of land made available by Carney 1975 Limited for the said purpose. And this is where it gets interesting now. Having approached several businesses with regard to the donating of heavy equipment for the project, the village council said it received favorable response from who? Pical Services and Envirotech. Minister of National Development and Youth Services Foster Cummins has said Pical Services Limited is owned by his family, but he is not involved in the day-to-day operations. So, but I'll plug here, boy, Victor. So, those residents have been denied a recreation ground for decades. We know the PNM was in charge for decades. So, basically, spite on the residents of Cuba in that area for not being granted a recreation ground. Anyway, they decided to take matters in their own hand and start to check businesses and so on. And surprise, surprise, guess who volunteered to come and help the residents or claim to come and help? Pical Services and Envirotech. Pical is a company that Mr. Cummins, Foster Cummins, family is owning. Right? He said that he is no longer in the day-to-day operations. Now, let us go straight now to why the chairman stopped this for, or the Cuba Tabaki Corporation. When contacted yesterday, Chairman Awong, Henry Awong, confirmed a stop notice was issued to stop to Pical Services to stop whatever work they were doing in the recreation ground. Right? So a stop notice was given to Pical. And people might want to know, why? Why a stop notice was given to Pical? So let us continue with the article. Mr. Awong confirmed a stop notice was given, but with good reason. Firstly, the recreation ground belonged to Carney 1975 Limited. And when Carney 1975 was closed, it was handed over to the corporation. So the Cuba Tabaki Talparo Regional Corporation had ownership of the said parcel of land, not Carney 1975, right? And this happened via a cabinet note. Secondly, Mr. Awong continued, we have no issue with anyone wanting to help the community, Victor. the Cuba Tabaki Corporation is saying we don't have any issue with anybody wanting a community. We encourage that. In fact, we welcome that. But the corporation needs to be consulted with, and we need to get the necessary and they need to get the necessary approval first. So in other words, this project was started without the approval of the Cuba Tabaki Talparo Corporation, aided and abetted by Minister Foster Cummins' company, PICAL. You see the lawlessness that taking place, Victor? You see the lawlessness? Who gave PICAL permission to go and start our work? Was it Prime Minister Rowley? Was it another government minister? Or what happened there? Because certainly it wasn't the Cuba Tabaki Talparo Corporation who owns the personal land. So it's lawlessness taking place, apparently and allegedly. Right? Let us continue. Denying that the village council had notified the corporation, Awang reiterated that no approval was granted for what was being done since no consultation had taken place. So, number one, no consultation, Victor. No consultation taken place with respect to what they're going to do in this piece of land here. PICAL bring in the heavy equipment and start a jam without approval from the Cuba Tabaki Talparo Corporation. Who owns PICAL? Minister Foster Cummins' family. Let us continue. He said, in addition to this lack of consultation, when the corporation conducted their own investigation, hear this, sir, they discovered the recreation ground was not being developed as it was claimed. Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this. It was not being developed as it was claimed that PICAL was doing. What was happening was truckloads of soil was being removed from that site, from the site, and taken to God knows where. So as a result, we issued a stop notice to the firm involved. Wong said the CTRC is about improving the lives of the Burgesses and would therefore welcome any initiative that seeks to deliver such an outcome, but it must be done in accordance with the rule of law and with the necessary approvals being obtained. So guys, I am being told we'll take a break. We'll take a break now, and then when we come back, we will discuss this issue. Victor, you will give me your thoughts on it. But just to recap, a stop notice order was issued to PICAL Services to stop taking the dirt from that area and carrying it away, because they claimed what they were developing for the community, but it looked like they was developing something else allegedly. Taking the dirt from here and carrying it to God knows where, according to the words of Chairman Awang. Trinidad and Tobago, you see bold-facedness? That is bold-facedness.
Make it your choice. Something for everyone. 975 FM. Music for you. It's all about you.
97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Power to the listeners.
Come to the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Black Rock, Tobago. Great ambience, fantastic prices, all COVID protocols observed. Full premium bar available. Call Waves at 731-4646 to make your reservation. Come dine with the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Black Rock, Tobago. You must be vaccinated to dine in.
My parents' generation grew up with Royal Castle. From the first restaurant in 1968, when that distinctive, tempting aroma hit the air, they just couldn't resist. And like never before, fried chicken with a special blend of local seasonings and a one-of-a-kind flavor down to the bone. Today, Royal Castle still have that same delicious taste, and I love it too. The kids can't resist it either. Plus, they have more to enjoy. For me, the castle is more than just nice food. is we own, part of me and you, and is the real flavor of TNT.
Fab India Expo at the White Tent opposite Medford gas station, Shogunas, will be closing on Monday, May 23rd. Check out our unique bridal collection or even dresses to attend the wedding, handicrafts, footwear, jewelry, furniture, and so much more. All in one store. Perfect place for Mother's Day shopping and outing. Enjoy delicious authentic Indian food at Tandoori King, Star Hakka, and Dosa Diner. Newly opened Bombay Chaat, Pani Puri, and lots more. Fab India Expo opposite the Medford gas station, Shogunas. Check us out. We're open from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m.
La Penca and Bees Hi-Fi presents Return to Real Rock Sunday, 22nd May, time 5 p.m. Featuring the Anarchists, Code Black, and Life Force, together with Bees Hi-Fi. We gonna rock. Come on down to La Penca, Sunday, May 22nd, 5 p.m. Tickets only $50. For tickets, please call Bees 779-1663, Code Black 359-1843, Anarchist 385-4315, or La Penca 373-3453. Return to Real Rock!
It's the grand opening of Matai Imports Limited new showroom at Hassan Ali Trace, Lower Barrackpore. All pickups, cars and bikers are invited Sunday 15th May from 2 p.m. till 10. For more information, call 391-3043. It's the grand opening of Matai Imports Limited new showroom at Hassan Ali Trace, Lower Barrackpore. Sunday 15th May from 2 p.m. till 10. Also a special guest appearance by the 4x4 man, Kenneth Salik.
The girl in me for a man with a big, big van. She don't wanna pay the wagon. She looking for a four-wheel van.
The Grand Coulon Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock. Bed and breakfast rates available. To book, call 283-2597 or 463-2946. The Grand Coulon Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock.
Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica.
Opening hours.
Saturday 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m.
Sundays 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. When you think about fresh produce and good quality food, come to Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica.
Welcome back, Trinidad and Tobago. So, Victor, real quickly, we have Mr. Brian Begg, a very accomplished attorney of law on the line. But Victor, any thoughts on that piece of information there?
Well, let Brian go ahead and I will come
right,
back.
Nice.
After, right?
Okay, let's go straight to Brian Begg, attorney at law. Brian, are you there?
Yes, hi, good night.
Very honored to have you. I would like to ask you, Brian, as an attorney of law and having heard the discussion about the special branch report concerning Mr. Foster Cummins and also this new issue with Pical Services concerning doing work on a piece of land owned by the Kuva Tabaki Talpa Regional Corporation without approval and trucking off the material. We would like to hear your input, Mr. Brian, so the floor is yours.
Well, first of all, let me say a pleasant good night to you, Safraz, as well as Victor Roberts, my good friend, the man who I've always been there at his side, and to the indomitable Corky, I say good night as well. Corky, I must say as well, I enjoyed seeing the blue shirt. I think it's a blue tie. Blue is my favorite color. So I guess Corky knew I was going to be there today. Outside of that, I'm very good evening to your listeners.
I think, Brian, you had on blue today also. I saw you briefly in the St. Joseph barbecue fundraiser.
Yes.
You had on blue also. So what Brian is saying, Corky, is that great minds think alike. You and Brian were on blue together. All right, Brian, go ahead.
Well, before I get into the substantive matter, let me firstly congratulate the St. Joseph constituency executive, Senator Anil Roberts, coordinator
as well as the team for doing a very successful fundraising event today. I must say it was very delicious, that barbecue. Congratulations. I know Safraz, you're a part of that executive and team. So congratulations again. St. Joseph is doing an excellent job. And I see no doubt that St. Joseph will return to the arms of the United National Congress. So within that, first of all, we have a matter which was raised at a CNC Speak meeting in San Fernando, right? Where in which Senator Jayanti Lakshmi, my learned friend and colleague, raised some issues and concerns that was brought out of a special branch report, which was due to an investigation that was being done. Now, many persons have asked, well, what really is the role of special branch? I hope you all are hearing me.
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah, Brian, we hear you. You go ahead. Yeah.
Right. So, let me say further that people think that special branch are just these fellas who does walk around with the president, the prime minister, and certain members of cabinet, that being the attorney general and that of the minister of national security, and they walk at their side, they wear the dark shades, and basically they are seen as our secret service. However, the special branch also has many investigative powers, right? They are also an intelligence gathering unit, wherein which they gather in matters of national security and organized criminal activity. Let me repeat that again. Organized criminal activity. So as to better serve the investigative operational arms of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, right? So they would have done a part of their duty, which is to investigate an issue that may have been raised about a member who is now a sitting member of parliament and also is a cabinet minister. And this was in 2019. So the special branch would have done as they are duly empowered to do, right? And that report would have been, or ought to have been, or should have been forwarded to their boss. And their boss is the Commissioner of Police. And in 2019, the Commissioner of Police that time would have been, I believe it would have been Captain, or Gary Griffith, I shouldn't say Captain, right? And Mr. Griffith, who was a Commissioner of Police then, indicated that such report would have been sent to the Prime Minister. Now, the Prime Minister, who constantly boasts that I am the chairman of the National Security Council. So as the chairman of National Security Council, this report would have been brought to him. Okay? Now, this is where the Prime Minister can either say, well, take it to his member and say, listen, we have an issue here with you. What is this about? Or he could have told the Commissioner of Police, well, Commissioner, continue, carry out, do what you all have to do. So either or could have happened, right? So we don't know if that was happening. But the Prime Minister at a meeting said that he is aware of such report. And even at a post-cabinet meeting, the Prime Minister said that as well. I mean, now, any proper Prime Minister or any proper head of government, right? If there's a person of your government, your party, because I understand that this minister or this MP also holds a senior position in the People's National Movement, right? And if that is brought to your attention, you should act immediately. So had there been any other government, and I compare it to that of the People's Partnership under Kamala Prasad, etc., where any issues raised about a member of our government, what is the first thing she would have done? It's to tell that minister, sir, you need to go and clear your name. Because things should not embarrass a government. And these are things that embarrass a government.
Council.
Pardon?
Council, I want to interject here.
Sure.
Why would a serious report with these damning allegations, why would that report sent to the Commissioner of Police and then sent to the Prime Minister, who will either say continue or not to continue. When there is serious allegation of corruption, wouldn't a document like that be sent to the DPP to take action where some criminal allegations were
Well, I love your
committed?
question. Yeah, I love your question. Because the only time you will send it to the Director of Public Prosecution is if the police is believed that they have finished their investigations and they believe that some form of criminal liability is set, right? In which the DPP, if the DPP believes that there is enough evidence to charge, so the DPP, one power the DPP has, besides being the chief prosecutor, is that he can also have the powers of telling the police to lay charges, right? So in that way, once the commissioner sends it back to the head of special branch and say, is there anything else or are you all satisfied? And if they are satisfied, then it can go to the DPP, right? So I agree that there is a chain of command to follow, right? Because at the end of the day, the special branch officers can't just take a report and just send it to the DPP without it being properly checked, right? And that is a part of the standing order to the TTPS, right? In which they believe, yes, we have to charge, right? And if there is enough to charge, then, as I indicated, you bring the charge forward, right?
But Ben, sorry to interject again, right? But you see, this kind of confusing me because if it is that the special branch report was conducted, the investigation started in 2017, 2018. We don't have the details. 2018?
2018.
And they handed it prior to the general election of 2020. Right? Actually, it was on the senior soup desk or something like that, right? Right? And well, was it forwarded to the Commissioner of Police? Well, Gary Griffith said he knew about it. And he also stated that the Prime Minister knew about it also. So it means that it was forwarded to the Prime Minister also. But my thing is, and this is what the same thing Victor is asking. There are substantive allegations in that report, Brian. And what has been done since then to now?
And you are quite correct to feel confused because I am telling you, even I myself are confused. And so why this has not even reached the DPP yet? Is it that the investigation?
So Brian, let me just interject here again.
Yeah.
Whenever this investigation started, this investigation would have run for a period of time while the special branch do their thing. And their thing in this case would be investigating the allegations that was made against the then senator. Upon completing their investigations, then that file would have been sent back to the Commissioner of Police. The Commissioner of Police would review this file and then he can also make further recommendations, or the file can be sent to the Director of Public Prosecution for advice. When the file reaches to the Director of Public Prosecution, the Director may further request further investigations be conducted, or based on what he believes according to law, he might then take the appropriate action. My question inside all of that, why would a file that have this type of alleged criminal conduct be sent to a Prime Minister and not to the Director of Public Prosecution if this file was completed in order for it to be handed into the Commissioner of Police? That is where the confusion really lies.
And it's a very good question, Victor, because when I listen to the reason why it was sent to the Prime Minister, is that because of the fact it is involved with a sitting member of cabinet. Now, hold on, I asked a question when I heard that. Was that done for a former cabinet minister who is currently before the court called Marlene McDonald. That was not done. I don't know if you all recall that. That was not done. In fact, when the issue of to charge her was brought in, they went to her home at 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't know if you all remember that, right? So it is very strange that this is being done in this way. Now, with that being said, now I don't want to prejudice the matter. As you all are aware, this matter has reached the level of pre-action protocol, right? So I feel sorry for them because as of who I understand is now in this matter, as carries the title senior counsel. I always tell people, be very careful which tree you try to climb. So, with that, the issue here is that they are going around the mulberry bush, if I may use that term. And they should not do that. That should have been taken directly to the Director of Public Prosecution once investigation was finished. Because to me, in 2019, so now I expect the investigation to be completed. And if there's some issue to be answered, because there's some serious allegations there, because again, what do you call them? The special branch, one of their main duties is to deal with matters concerning the issue of organized crime. And that is where this is revolving around as well, right? Because you're hearing of certain persons in society is being dealt with, and this is frightening, right? And I believe this is now moving into the second matter that you asked about, Safraz.
But before I go into the second matter, my learned friend, there must be questions just at this junction, because Gary Griffith, who was the commissioner of police at that time, Gary Griffith also have some answers, some questions and answers, because when I look at the chain in relation to this whole aspect of police investigation, nowhere inside of there is the Prime Minister ought to be a part or any criminal file ought to be sent to the Prime Minister, bringing in a political spin into this situation, thereby having a file sitting on a desk. So my question, is it to say, and this is a question to Gary Griffith, is it to say that Commissioner of Police then, Gary Griffith, allow the political directorate to have its way in this investigation instead of taking precise action where we would not have been at this point having any form of pre-action protocol letter or anybody dodging and ducking from a serious situation where the police service, because the special branch is an arm of the police service. So the police service did a report, submitted to the commissioner, and here we are hearing that the Prime Minister saying that he was aware and nothing was done. Absolutely nothing was done in relation to bring some clarity to this situation. I think that this is a situation where the then Commissioner of Police have some questions to also
Victor,
answer.
I think you're valid with your question. And I have to say it again, that this shows that there's some form or is showing that there's a galloping dictatorship in Trinidad and Tobago. Right? Because again, this type of action is done with a previous member of cabinet who's currently before the court. That was not done, right? And I'm saying that the way this was done, I don't think is the proper procedure. If you understand where I'm coming from, Victor, right? I hope you're hearing me.
Go ahead.
Right? And Safraz, I hope you're hearing me.
Yeah, Ben, I hear you, right? But yeah, you're correct in that something went wrong, and Victor is correct also. Something went on where a report was conducted.
An investigation.
An investigation was conducted, right? And findings as a result of intelligence gathering was done in a report. Now, here it is that we have in this guy's pre-action protocol, Foster Commons pre-action protocol letter to Senator Jayanti. Senator Commons is making some reference to, we're not sure if this is a first draft or is a final draft. Some kind of mumbo jumbo thing like that.
Hogwash.
Exactly.
Hogwash.
But Safraz, I will not go much into that. As I told you, that matter is now being dealt with accordingly. And all I will say to the lawyers that brought that action, I wish them well. But further to that, right? To me, if they are saying that the report went to the Prime Minister as a way of informing him that this is what has happened instead of reporting, then okay. But if this is done as a form of reporting,
my brother, I want to interject
disagree with
again. Have a little patience with me. But I'm
Yeah.
having a problem where this could go to the Prime Minister before going to the DPP.
Correct,
I have
Brian.
a problem with the Prime Minister being informed, you know.
Why?
But the
And it should
protocol
not have
needs
been
to
done
be
like that.
followed before any political interference or advice. You see, I look back at 2015, and I remember that when allegations came up, Kamla Prasad Bisesa, once an allegation was on the public domain, she said to go to the police. She didn't say send the report to me and let me look at it and then we deal with it. And this is where the breakdown of law and order in Trinidad and Tobago continues to be eroded. Because
And
if
Victor,
the
you are quite
TTPS
correct.
do
Victor, you are
an
quite
investigation
correct.
and send it to the Commissioner of Police, the Commissioner of Police ought to obey and follow the regulations. And if he believes that further investigation is needed, he could make reference to or send the file to the DPP, where the DPP will decide what takes place from here, not the Prime Minister.
And again, that's why I'm saying, I don't think the proper procedure is followed here. Because again, why does the Prime Minister need to see this? Right? I don't see the reason for it. Right? Unless they're saying, well, boss, we're just informing you. But it's gone to the DPP office. Right? But it shouldn't even be like that either. Because again, the investigations of the TTPS...
Brian, sorry.
Hold on, let me say this point.
Go ahead.
The investigations of the TTPS ought to be independent of the executive, that being the cabinet. It ought to be independent of any political arm, that being the government.
Yeah,
because
but Brian.
If that is so, then the TTPS has been complied.
Right. So, Brian, exactly what Victor is saying, you concurred on that. Exactly, because to us, to the general public, John Doe outside here, serious allegations were made. Police would have gathered information and intelligence, did a report, and what happened to the report after, we have to see it now exactly, because Gary Griffith said he saw the report. He said the Prime Minister knows about it. You're correct. You are correct, and Victor is correct. But my thing is now, from the Prime Minister side now, Brian, the Prime Minister will have had knowledge of this prior to the general election of 2020.
And that's the
And what did he do?
And all. Now this man, this is 2019. This man was elevated from a senator to a member of parliament. Right? This man was elevated. But nonetheless, so there will be a lot of things going to come out of this now. Because like I said, people choose the wrong tree to climb. Right? But anyway, I believe your second issue you raised, concerning an issue of materials being moved. Can you just remind me of it?
Before we go to that second issue, my attorney brother, so then I must conclude that is not only the Prime Minister to blame if what we are hearing that the report went to the Commissioner of Police. Then I want to put on record tonight that if the Commissioner of Police had done, because while the then Commissioner saying he know about the report, then if the proper channel and procedure were followed, then we would not have had this individual elevating to a candidate for the general election simply because the appropriate action would have taken place before, and
Correct.
it's either the DPP had cleared him or prosecution would have taken place. And that is what happened when you're a commissioner of police like this now sitting commissioner has been appointed through the political directorate and the political will, and not the independent structure that the constitution set up.
Brand, before you go to the second point with Pikal and the Kuva Tabaki Talparo Corporation, what my question to you, Brian, considering the same issue here, what confidence this gives for people like myself, Victor, and the rest of Trinidad and Tobago, who looking to see that justice is done and the rule of law is being upheld, but then something like this comes and happen now, and you're thinking, well, but what going on here is one law or rule for certain people, and next one for others who like for us now, it may seem very unfair. What damages to the confidence of the justice system this does, Brian?
I'm sorry, Safraz, you broke up a bit. Can you say it over?
I am saying, you hear me?
Yeah, I hear
Right.
you better now.
I am saying that people like myself and Victor and Jeffrey and the rest of Trinidad and Tobago, what confidence damages can the general public have with respect to when they're seeing things like this happening, where it appears that there's one rule for the privilege and a next rule for the poor and the downtrodden and the rest of the for the other, you're correct, for the rest of the population.
All right, so basically saying like there's one rule for one and then another rule
Correct,
for another.
because they had an investigation, a report done on a senator at that point in time, and apparently that report reached nowhere.
My friend, that is why you have attorneys like myself and others who will be there to ensure that justice is not only done, but it is done fairly and it is done free from fear, right? And it is also done in a way that no one cannot say that there is some form of interference, because you have to ensure that the justice is done properly. Example I will give is my good friend who's sitting next to you was standing on a step and was going to be tried to be removed, and they were trying all kind of reasons to remove him, and they were trying all sort of unfair tactics, right? But there was a gentleman just last week doing the same. When I say last week, when he was there the week before, was doing the same thing he was doing, and the person was just demonstrating that they did not like the issue of something that was done in the court, and they came to demonstrate that, and they left him there. So they take a good lawyer like myself to come and fight for my good friend there, Victor, to tell the police what they were doing is wrong.
Of course, it took one of the best to come out. That's my friend.
I mean, we must always understand things will happen, and we have to ensure that it is done properly and that justice is done to be done fairly for the citizens of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, right? So, answer your question with that. So, what's the second issue now?
The issue with Pikal allegedly removing material from a recreation, a site that is being owned by the Kuva Tabaki Talpa Regional Corporation without any form of approval from the corporation.
Well, I mean, if being a former corporate secretary, if there is no approval from the corporation, it cannot be removed at all, right? And if a stop order was given, obviously, if you have a good corporate secretary of a corporation, the corporate secretary must, and you are being a former counsel yourself, Safraz, but know that the corporate secretary has all power to ensure that such a stop order is given, once it is also given by counsel. The council gives the order to have the stop order given. The corporate secretary can write officially to whoever that company was or whoever that organization or entity that they must stop and stop forthwith.
But Ben,
right? And
The
And
point,
if they can bring it back again.
the point I'm trying
And
to
if-
ask you, right, Brian, is
Uh-huh.
that here it is another example of Minister Foster Cummins. This time in the form of his family's company, Pical, allegedly going ahead and doing works in a publicly owned space here in the Kuvatabaki Talpa Regional Corporation without any form of approval. Is it the same type of attitude that, you know, we could do this thing without anything happening to us because we are above the law? It is, you understand what I'm asking you, Brian? It is the same denominator, the same common denominator where Minister Foster Cummins' name is being called.
Well, I would expect that the corporation will do their due diligence to ensure that necessary action is taken to ensure that doesn't happen. The entity who would have done that and would have gotten the stop order, and if it continues, the corporation as an entity as themselves can take legal action. And the corporate secretary, through the council, can give the order to initiate legal action. The corporate secretary, being the internal counsel, can start the action, or they can get external counsel. Right? That's how I know it to be.
And counsel, I want to reiterate the point that my friend here is made a while ago. You see, and this is one of the problems we have in Trinidad and Tobago. Let me say it like it is, because I write a stock. Everybody may not like how I write a stock, but you know, it's a fight to be so. You see, it seems as though that there is one law, as my brother say, for the privileged and one law for the underprivileged. Because if I should take a backhoe and a truck and go on lands that belonging to anybody
and start a cut away material
and start a take away material, I telling you, I ended up before the court. So my point I'm making is this: when we have these big Sawati and them allegedly breaking the law,
ministers,
why is not the same law applied to them? Because if I take a backhoe and a truck and I go and I dig up material on any land that belonging to anybody at any time, at any place, I am before the court. That is where my problem does come.
my point too, by Brian, it doesn't augur well for when the general public watching things like this and saying, but wait, is one rule for them and another rule for everybody else?
Well, again, I mean, I can't answer for if the corporation has done anything outside of what would have been said in the media, right? But I would expect, again, whoever is their internal unit counsel, because under Section 39 of the Corporations Act, the corporate secretary advises counsel as well, not only to operate as their as we'd call the internal lawyer, but they also to advise counsel. So I would expect that person would have advised counsel at any meeting that deals with that, and said the corporation would have done the due diligence by doing the stop order, and the person decides to ignore it because they might say, well, but we in charge, you know, we don't really care about that, right? Then all they have to do is to take legal action via the court, and that is what has to be done. I can't say further as to whether the corporation did that. I'm just talking from my own experience as what has to be done, or what ought to have been done, or what should have been done. All right? So, and Safraz, you yourself would have sat in a council, and you would know what a corporate secretary's powers are and what they would have done.
Well, Brian, I'm very
glad. I answered your question there.
Well, I'm very glad that you gave that input. And I would like to add also, well, I don't know who the corporate secretary is in the Kuvatabaki Talpa Regional Corporation, but I do know the chairman, Mr. Henry Awong, is a fantastic individual. And he has been chairman for a number of years now, and he's very experienced. And I also know that Mr. Henry Awong stands for the right things, and he will not allow anybody to break the law and trespass on public property against the law. He will take whatever necessary actions that is available to him under the Municipal Corporation Act, right? He will advise the council and the corporation, and I know, I have confidence in the chairmanship of Mr. Wong to rectify this matter.
And I want to share your view. I know the gentleman very well. We go a way back. The gentleman is a very good chairman. And the fact that he spoke about the fact that a stop order was given, that means that the council took some form of necessary action. I can't say if any other action has been given. From what I heard in the media, the council did the correct thing to do what has to be done. What I will say again is that you are seeing a trend happening with this certain individual. What I will say is that, again, there's a time when they say, time longer than twine and long rope for maga goat. So time will tell, because there was a point in time when that other member of the cabinet who is not before the court was saying nobody can touch me. Well, he's before the court right now, isn't he? Right? So all I will tell you, my friend, and tell the nation, the listening public and the viewing public on Facebook, see for your own self, listen for your own self to see that you have persons of our government who is breaking the law or doing things that is contrary to the law. Right? And we must ensure that the law must remain and reign supreme. Because if they are doing it, well, who is you and who is me? You understand what I'm saying, gentlemen?
So, thank you, Council. At this time, we're going for the break.
Let me
we will be
say,
right back. So, on the line was none other than Attorney at Law Brian Big, a man who is quite competent in terms of delivering and also very articulate in terms of bringing the facts to you in relation to the law. So thank you, brother, and we go for the break at this point in time, and we will be back.
Time has come. New 97.5. Make it your choice. Something for everyone. 975 FM. Music for you. It's all about you.
New 97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Power to the listeners. Come to the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Black Rock, Tobago. Great ambience, fantastic prices, all COVID protocols observed. Full premium bar available. Call Waves at 731-4646 to make your reservation. Come dine with the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Black Rock, Tobago. You must be vaccinated to dine in.
My parents' generation grew up with Royal Castle. From the first restaurant in 1968, when that distinctive, tempting aroma hit the air, they just couldn't resist. And like never before, fried chicken with a special blend of local seasonings and a one-of-a-kind flavor down to the bone. Today, Royal Castle still have that same delicious taste, and I love it too. The kids can't resist it either. Plus, they have more to enjoy. For me, the castle is more than just nice food. It's we own, part of me and you, and is the real flavor of TNT.
Farbindia Expo at the White Tent opposite Medford gas station, Shogunas, will be closing on Monday, May 23rd. Check out our unique bridal collection, or even dresses to attend the wedding, handicrafts, footwear, jewelry, furniture, and so much more, all in one store. Perfect place for Mother's Day shopping and outing. Enjoy delicious authentic Indian food at Tandoori King, Star Haka, and Dosa Diner. Newly opened Bombay Chaat, Pani Puri, and lots more. Farbindia Expo opposite the Medford gas station, Shogunas. Check us out. We're open from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m.
La Penca and Bees Hi-Fi presents Return to Real Rock Sunday, 22nd May, time 5 p.m. Featuring the Anarchists, Code Black, and Life Force, together with Bees Hi-Fi. We gonna rock. Come on down to La Penca, Sunday, May 22nd, 5 p.m. Tickets only $50. For tickets, please call Bees 779-1663. Code Black 359-1843. Anarchist 385-4315. Or La Penca 373-3453. Return to Real Rock.
It's the grand opening of Matai Imports Limited new showroom at Hassan Ali Trace, Lower Barrackpore. All pickups, cars and bikers are invited. Sunday 15th May from 2 p.m. till 10. For more information, call 391-3043. It's the grand opening of Matai Imports Limited new showroom at Hassan Ali Trace, Lower Barrackpore. Sunday 15th May from 2 p.m. till 10. Also a special guest appearance by the 4x4 man, Kenneth Salik.
The girl leave me for a man with a big van. She don't wanna aid the wagon. She looking for a four-wheel van.
The Grand Coulant Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock. Bed and breakfast rates available. To book, call 283-2597 or 463-2946. The Grand Coulant Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock.
Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica.
Opening hours.
Saturday 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m.
Sundays 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. When you think about fresh produce and good quality food, come to Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica.
Just want to thank Attorney at Law Mr. Brian Begg for those informed opinions. Guys, I have a third, Jeffrey. I have a third issue I want to discuss now. And again, surprise, surprise, guess who it involves? Mr. Foster Cummins. But he's not alone. He is with Miss Penelope Beckles and some guy by the name of Masai, the president or chairman of the Heliconia Foundation. And apparently they are having a meeting with Wallerfield farmers tomorrow. Right? They are having a meeting with Wallerfield farmers tomorrow with regards to advising or something to that effect the farmers in terms of something with land tenure. Now, this is shocking to me. I am a director with the Agricultural Society of Trinidad and Tobago. And I can tell you guys, there is an issue with farmers and land tenure for decades and decades and decades. There are some farmers who waiting up to 30 years for their lease. And they have not been able to get their lease. Now, earlier in 2021, myself and the president of the Agricultural Society, Mr. Dara Rampasad, we would have had a meeting with the Commission of State Land concerning this issue. And it's not an easy issue to deal with. It's a very complex issue and very time consuming. So, if it is a farmer is planting a land that they were not assigned to. Well, let me recap. Let me rewind, sorry. The first thing is, every so often, the Ministry of Agriculture advises that they were going to make available land for farmers, where you will apply via some sort of registration and so something like that, and there's a criteria to select farmers who would qualify, whatever it is, and a lease would be created for that farmer for that parcel of land. It happened in Orange Grove. It happened in different areas, Gillingham Junction. It happened in different areas of Trinidad and Tobago where leases were created under the office of the Commissioner of State Land, right? These were where this occurred when it was advertised, and people applied, got their 2-acre blocks or whatever it is, 50-acre block with the bigger farmers, whatever it was, and got their leases, etc., etc., etc. And there are conditions to the lease. So, for example, for that lease to be current and valid, you have to do certain things. You have to plant certain crops. It depends on what the lease states, right? Now, there are a large number of farmers who don't have leases, saw a piece of land, or because their forefathers were planting the land, they just inherited and continue to plant the land. Now, these farmers are having a little difficulty because they don't have land tenure, any document with their name associated with that piece of land officially. And therefore, when they go to the Agricultural Development Bank, there is no local standing for the farmers with respect to that piece of land, and the land will not be or cannot be held as collateral or security for a loan, that kind of thing. And that is the problem that the farmer undergoes. Now, if we spoke to the Commissioner of State Land, and she said two things her office looks for. Number one, and Jeffrey, I want you to listen to this carefully, right? Number one is if the farmer has been planting the land for more than 5 years. More than 5 years. And how they verify this information? The Agriculture Extension Officer for that area, part of his job is to travel the different farms under his portfolio and take notes of who planted what and when. And if he has any record that farmer, okay, year 1 has been planting so and so, year 2 has been planting so and so, year 3 has been planted. If he has records that the farmer has been planting for more than 5 years, then the farmer has fulfilled the first criteria. The second criteria is if the farmer has been planting more than 75% of the land that he occupies. So, for example, there are some people who will just block a piece of land and leave it and plant probably a few fruit trees, some coconut trees, and claim that they own the land because they have trees growing up on it. But the land idle. The land is not being into productive use. All of it, let us say more than 75% of the land is not being utilized for productive use. So those two criteria the Commissioner of State Land told us that she uses when she proposes to give a lease to somebody. That's just the first stage, right? Now, I made reference to the Agriculture Extension Officer. The Agriculture Extension Officer, the Commissioner of State Land will write the Ministry of Agriculture to that Agriculture Extension Officer to get a report on that piece of land. So that report will come in, right, Victor? That report will come in to the Commissioner of State Land after a few months, some might take a few years, right? So there is one delay there. And when that report goes to her now, and it fulfills the criteria of more than 75% of the land has been planted for more than 5 years, then now the Commissioner will look at all the relevant facts and say, well, okay, we could grant you, under her office, we could grant you that lease. She will draft up the lease and whatever it is, and then send it now to a different department for them to look at the lease. And that is the Chief Solicitor Department. Right? And the Chief Solicitor Department now, the lawyers there will have to review the lease, and they will make the necessary changes and so on that they need to make. Right? Then it comes back to the Commissioner of State Land now. There's another level now where the Commissioner now will have to recommend through the line Minister of Agriculture that this person gets this lease here, and now that has to go to Cabinet for approval. So it's not an automatic process. And the point I'm trying to make here is that what business does Mr. Foster Cummins have with respect to granting of state leases? Right. For more than 5 years. Right. For more than 5 years. More than 5 years. And you're planted for... Correct. So the final stage now is where that lease now is recommended for approval via through the Minister of Agriculture to Cabinet. And the Cabinet, once they signed off on it, it comes back to the Commissioner of State Land to give to the farmer. It's a long, drawn-out process. It takes a while, but some farmers have been getting their leases renewed. Some, not all, right? They have been getting their leases and some have been getting renewed. Point I'm trying to make is that Minister Foster Cummins is going to that meeting to the Wallerfield farmers tomorrow. Apparently, Heliconia now is carrying surveyors, they're carrying lawyers, and I don't know what they're going to discuss. I am not seeing the Commissioner of State Land Office being represented there. I am not even seeing the Minister of Agriculture being represented. The people who really matters in this process is not going to be there. But here it is, you're going to have two ministers. Minister Penelope Beckles, who's an MP for Arima, and Minister Foster Cummins, who is Minister of Youth Development. They're going to have this workshop and going to advise farmers how they could get a lease. And to me, something is up here. A lot of questions have to be asked. I asked some of it. Where is the Commissioner of State Land? Where is the Minister of Agriculture? What sort of advice they're going to give these constituents of La Joqueta, Wallerfield to be exact? Why choose the farmers of Wallerfield alone? What is special about the farmers of Wallerfield as compared to the rest of the farmers all over Trinidad and Tobago who have been waiting so long as 15, 20 years for a lease to be approved? Right? Yeah, I mean, questions are being asked again and again. The common denominator is Minister Foster Cummins. And that is where I have my problem and issue. Is Minister Foster Cummins or MP Foster Cummins in this matter here, is he morally, I'm asking the question, Jeffrey, is he morally on good grounds to be doing an activity like this, notwithstanding serious allegations of land grabbing via a special branch report have been made against him? And that is the problem I have. Our friend Victor has walked in. Victor, I am asking the question, if Minister Foster Cummins is morally on good grounds to be holding a workshop on land tenure when serious accusations and allegations via no less than a special branch report has been made against the Minister Foster Cummins with respect to land grabbing and land tenure issues?
Well, this is, of course, the normal behavior of this government. This government have no respect whatsoever for law and order. And when a government have no respect for law and order, then you will expect the unexpected, and you will also understand the impossible becoming possible. And that is what this government continue to portray. Now, while all these questions, they are pertinent questions, and why we ought to know and should be given answers, while we also understand the protocols in terms of any deliverables in relation to land and occupying and giving out of state land, the fact remains that the government continue to do as they please. And you have to understand, my brother, that when an election is in the air, we have learned to see and understand that things happen that under normal circumstances cannot happen. And that is when you have no checks and balances, that is when you have no independent institution. That is when you have nobody is looking into the interests of the people of this country, while you have the opposition voices being shut down in the place that is designated for their voices to be heard.
Victor, I want to say that it's so ironic and coincidental that you made that statement that when an election is near, they will do things like this to bribe the people. I am on a WhatsApp chat, and information is coming that apparently some of those Waterfield farmers are being promised land in Phoenix Park, and more will be coming out on that, because how will farmers from Waterfield allegedly be being offered lands in Waterfield, in Phoenix Park?
Simple.
Something is up.
Simple.
Something is up.
Simple. When you do take stock as to what will happen in Waterfield, you will realize that the word farmer is being used, but the people who occupy the lands will be voters, people who the PNM will install and in those areas in order to keep that voting bank flowing. You see, boy, brother, bottom line, this is what the people in this country support. This is what the people in this country vote for. And I will tell you why I say this is what they vote for. They have seen between 2015 and 2020. They have seen. And in order to come back in 2020, August 5th, I think it was, and to install the perpetrators of the evil across this land back into office, then all you can get coming out from that tree is what they know going to reap.
Oh, Vic,
go ahead.
Vic, I want to bring this point now. The failed Minister of Agriculture, the former failed Minister of Agriculture, Clarence Rambarat, he resigned, and for all intents and purposes, he was in a political cemetery, only to be resurrected by none other than the Prime Minister himself. When the Prime Minister announced that he doesn't want to lose Clarence Rambarat, and he offered Clarence Rambarat, well, he told the public that there is a new entity being called Single Point Access. You all remember that? Single Point Access, where all land apparently going to fall under this guy, Clarence Rambarat, who will be chairman or director or whatever it is you want to call him, where he will be in charge of this new state body called Single Point Access. Contradictorily, Clarence Rambarat is not advertised as speaking in that event tomorrow also. So what really going on? What Foster Cummins and Penny and the Heliconia Foundation, what they going to do tomorrow with those Waterfield farmers? It's very, very interesting to know and to see what is really happening. And if the rumors are true that apparently certain Waterfield farmers are being offered lands in Phoenix Park. So, serious questions, Victor. Serious questions are being asked again. And again, it is Minister Foster Cummins' name tied to the event and who will be involved. And this is the third issue for tonight, Trinidad and Tobago, where Foster Cummins' name is coming up. Alright, let us take a break, and right after the break, get ready to make your calls and make your contribution. I would really appreciate, both myself, Mr. Victor and Jeffrey would really appreciate what the public has to say about these three issues that we discussed tonight.
So the number that you will have to call will be 218-7762. That's after the break. We'll be back.
Time has come Make it your choice. Something for everyone. 975 FM. Music for you. It's all about you.
97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Power to the listeners. Come to the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Black Rock, Tobago. Great ambience, fantastic prices, all COVID protocols observed. Full premium bar available. Call Waves at 731-4646 to make your reservation. Come dine with the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Black Rock, Tobago. You must be vaccinated to dine in.
My parents' generation grew up with Royal Castle. From the first restaurant in 1968, when that distinctive, tempting aroma hit the air, they just couldn't resist. And like never before, fried chicken with a special blend of local seasonings and a one-of-a-kind flavor down to the bone. Today, Royal Castle still have that same delicious taste, and I love it too. The kids can't resist it either. Plus, they have more to enjoy. For me, the castle is more than just nice food. It's we own, part of me and you, and is the real flavor of TNT.
Fabindia Expo at the White Tent opposite Medford gas station, Shogunas, will be closing on Monday, May 23rd. Check out our unique bridal collection or even dresses to attend the wedding, handicrafts, footwear, jewelry, furniture, and so much more. All in one store. Perfect place for Mother's Day shopping and outing. Enjoy delicious authentic Indian food at Tandoori King, Star Haka, and Dosa Diner. Newly opened Bombay Chaat, Pani Puri, and lots more. Fabindia Expo opposite the Medford gas station, Shogunas. Check us out. We're open from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m.
La Penca and Bees Hi-Fi presents Return to Real Rock Sunday, 22nd May, time 5 p.m. Featuring the Anarchists, Code Black, and Life Force together with Bees Hi-Fi. We gonna rock. Come on down to La Penca Sunday, May 22nd, 5 p.m. Tickets only $50. For tickets, please call Bees 779-1663, Code Black 359-1843, Anarchist 385-4315, or La Penca 373-3453. Return to Real Rock.
It's the grand opening of Matai Imports Limited new showroom at Hassan Ali Trace, Lower Barkpore. All pickups, cars and bikers are invited. Sunday, 15th May from 2 p.m. till 10. For more information, call 391-3043. It's the grand opening of Matai Imports Limited new showroom at Hassan Ali Trace, Lower Barkpore. Sunday, 15th May from 2 p.m. till 10. Also, a special guest appearance by the 4x4 man, Kenneth Salik.
The girl leave me for a man with a big, big van. She don't wanna pay the wagon. She looking for a four-wheel van.
The Grand Coulon Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock. Bed and breakfast rates available. To book, call 283-2597 or 463-2946. The Grand Coulon Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock.
Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica.
Opening hours.
Saturday 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m.
Sundays 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. When you think about fresh produce and good quality food, come to Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica.
All right.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, Trinidad and Tobago.
218-7762 is the number to call. 218-7762. All right, we have a call there.
All right. Good day, caller.
Yes, gentlemen, good evening, good night. Mr. Robert, you spoke about something while Mr. Bay was talking. And I want to join you with asking those questions of the former Commissioner of Police. But I want to remind you, Mr. Roberts, that happened in 2019. So at that time, he was still in the good books of the Prime Minister. Remember, they didn't fall out as yet. They only fall out in 2021. Because 2019 going into 2020, he had an election still to win. And Gary Griffith was a big part of him winning that election. Remember remember he had bypassed a set of people to put Gary Griffith as the Commissioner of Police. And we have to wonder why would a man who's so in the know, how did he collude with the executive on such a sensitive investigation? Because that was not a matter of national security, was it? So you see, all these things going on there. So what really caused Gary to fall out with the Prime Minister? We still don't know that. And Gary keeps threatening to expose and expose, but nothing, he's only mouthing, but nothing comes out. You understand?
So, Kola.
Yeah?
Kola, so you're very correct, and the question that Mr. Victor Roberts would have asked, and I fully concur with Mr. Roberts, is that the Commissioner of Police would have had this information. At that point in time, it was Gary Griffith on a sitting senator, which was Foster Cummins then. What did he do with the report?
He let the boss know. He let the boss know that this investigation is happening. Rather than take it to the appropriate institution, which was the DPP. He took it to the man boss.
Correct. So to the general knowledge of all of us is that the DPP should have been consulted in terms of moving forward with this.
To move forward. But instead, Gary Griffith took it to the man boss. And that thing lay there is now 2022.
Kola,
you understand?
Now, Kola, the thing is, right, we haven't had any confirmation from Prime Minister Rowley concerning this if he saw that report. I don't know if anybody heard anything where he came out and said he knew the report.
In the postcard, with his usual way with words, he put it this way: I may or may not have seen it. But he comes out and said there was no evidence.
So basically, he was playing games.
His words: he may or may not have seen it, but they have no evidence.
Right. And it's the same thing he did when we were asking him who was the high public official who was at the president office consulting with the president and then allegedly met with the then Commissioner of Police, Blissy Prasad. And again, he neither denied nor confirmed until nearly a year and something after, where he did say, well, he was the public official who was there.
So then that leads me to my final point as I listen to your guy. Hello.
Yes, we're here.
It's established, the man is in control of everything. Everything that matters in this country, he controls it. So the sooner we get a hold of that and we realize we just ain't get the name that Trinidad and Tobago is run by a dictator yet. The international world haven't labeled it yet. But everything points in that direction. Everything. That's my point.
Kola, I want to commend you. Which area are you calling from, by the way?
Las Lomas.
Kola, from Las Lomas, go to the top of the class. You have hit the nail on the head directly. Because, really and truly, if the head... What's he saying, Victor? If the head is rotten...
Yeah, the whole fish rotten.
If the head of the fish is rotten, then the whole fish will be rotten after. You are correct, Kola. Thank you for that point.
See you guys off here.
Thank you very much for that, Kola. And the Kola is correct, Victor?
Well, added to that, the Kola made a very, very great remark. Now, when you hear the Prime Minister say that he may or may not have seen the report, but there is no evidence, so what is the Prime Minister speaking on? What moral foundation or authority is the Prime Minister speaking on to suggest that there is no evidence? If he is saying that he may or may not have seen the report, you see, take the call. Welcome, caller.
Good night,
caller.
Good night, gentlemen.
Yeah, good night, sir.
I'm a former county worker. With respect to the land distribution,
I worked with County Limited for 35 long years. I got my visa 20 years ago, in 2003, almost 20 years ago. And up to this present minute, I am still waiting on my 3 acres of agricultural land. Gentlemen, I have spoken to the former Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Clarence from her tribe. I've spoken to all the senior officials at both the EMDD and County Limited. I've even spoken to the Commissioner of State Land, Mrs. Van Matthew Peteran. And all I have been getting is run around, and more run around. Let me hear your comment on this, please.
Caller, don't wait. You there still? He left, but I was going to ask the caller, how does he feel that we have wall of field farmers meeting with 2 ministers of government concerning land tenure? And this caller is stating that he has been waiting over how much? 20-something years for the land that was promised to him by the then administration under Patrick Manning, that they will be getting land for all the years of service they would have given to Carney in 1975. You see where the unfairness comes in?
Well, that is where the political games continue to play, because you will find that the people, and I said it before, you will find that some of the individuals, if not most of them, who will be receiving land, Carney land, you will find that these is individuals that would be considered as part of the voting machine for the PNM. And you see,
in a marginal
I have some serious problems in this country. I have some serious problems where fairness, justice, and equity is concerned in this country. And you see, I ain't want to go there, but I just go because, as I say, I ain't come here for nobody to like me, and who have a problem, well, boy, sorry. But I have a real problem with some attorneys in this country, because some attorneys will see blatant discrimination taking place in this country, and they do nothing, absolutely nothing. And it reaches a stage in this country that it's all about the mighty dollar, the power of the dollar, because you cannot tell me that Carney workers who have been waiting for land for over 20, 15, 10 years, and you will tell me some people will gather today because of political influence and get lands above those individuals who were waiting all these years, and then the country will say nothing about that.
And why? Because it's La Hoquita Talparo, a marginal
The country will
constituency?
say nothing about that. That is where my problem does come in.
And why?
I'm listening to you guys in the kitchen, right? And you're saying they don't stand up to say nothing at all. What about when some people stand up to say something and they lose their life?
But let me tell you something. I was shot. Standing up for the poor and the oppressed. And I'm still here. I am still here fighting the same cause. I am steering the same course. Fighting for the poor, the oppressed, the downtrodden, for fairness, justice, and equity. That is where my fight is. So who believe that this fight is about vote, then that's a matter for you. But I am saying that there is no justice in this country. And my friend said it a while ago, there is one law for them and one law for us. Because you cannot tell me people who toil and sweat and lose limbs and fall ill to different ailment because of dust and other issues in Carney 1975 Limited, who was waiting for land from since back then to now, and you are telling me that because of some political interference and some political persuasions, there is a group of individuals who will be collecting state land above these individuals who were waiting for years? How can that be fair?
Correct.
How can that be fair in this country?
Aided and abetted by a sitting minister whose name keeps calling up in land issues.
Boy, let me tell you something, people in this country. You see Trinidad and Tobago? All they better start to get real in this place. All they get real and stand up, Get real and stand up, because in no other country this could happen. And it will go so easy. You understand? This could never happen. You can't tell me Carney 1975 Limited, 20 years ago promised land. And now we are hearing that Foster Cummins and Beckers would be meeting with farmers tomorrow in the Waterfield area, and some kind of land arrangement would be made for these people above Carney 1975 workers who sweat for years in the sugar industry, and today you bypass them and giving other people. What kind of madness people encouraging in this country? What we encouraging in this country? What kind of fairness, justice, and what kind of equitable distribution is this? And we sit down and take this as a country. We sit down and allow our administration to shove tutu down with throat and come back and say it's like peanut butter. Take the call, brother. Welcome, caller.
Yes, Victor.
Yeah, my brother.
Well, I can call you now and not talk like a lawyer. You see, we must understand that this is what we get as a government, right? This is what when we say elections have consequences, right? And I'm telling the people of Trinidad and Tobago, right? I ain't talking like a lawyer now, right? It's either wake up and realize what is going on. And we are in an election year, and I believe someone said it there on the show, that we must send a message, and the message must be clear, that the PNM must go. And the only party, the only political party that has the only way to save, rescue, deal with Trinidad and Tobago, and the only person who can lead a political party to such victory and to deal with the problems of Trinidad and Tobago is Kamala Prasad Misasa and the United National Congress. Trinidad and Tobago, for God's sake, look at what they're doing. Look at what is happening, right? I listened to the Standing Finance, and I don't know if you all saw it, but oh God, they're asking for more money, but you're not seeing anything for the money being spent. Trinidad and Tobago, it is time. We want the elections. It's time to force this government to call a general election, right? We have a local election coming. If it is called, let us send the message there.
And Ben,
Tower Lavantil, Trapura, Arima, Grandy, where we have Grandy, we have to Grandy. Right?
Ben, this is my point. That what we could do right now is to become strong again. The power really resides with the people, Brian.
Well, I don't want to stay long because I already was on the show. All
Right.
I said to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, for God's sake, open all your eyes. Before they ain't seeing it, well, I don't know how all they want to see it again. Time to move Rowley. Rowley must go.
Thank you very much, Brian. Let's take another call. Caller? We missed the call. The line is open now. Please feel free to call.
I don't know, I really don't know, but I am saying, and Brian, you couldn't have said it better. Until the people realize that this government had to go, is this type of nepotism, this kind of cronyism, this draconian measures will continue to be handed down to us, the people in this country. Take the call. Welcome, caller.
Morning, good night, Mr. Roberts.
Morning and good night, good evening, every day.
Good night, brother.
Yeah, what number? You remember the time they say they want to change the voting pattern in Central? Is that so much at UNC?
Right.
Well, this is the thing they're going now to bring all our field farmers.
Of course.
To make the voting to PNM favor.
Of course.
That is exactly what is going on.
And you are right, caller. You are right.
And if we do take step now, the whole of Trinidad will be more corrupted than hell.
Well, I don't think, thank you very much, caller. I don't think we could be more corrupted than where we are today. Because let me tell you something. This government have outshadowed all the other PNM government that sit in this country as a government over the years in relation to corruption. This corruption is from top to below.
And when we say top, the top is at the top,
The top.
The top. You can't get any higher than that. And see, Victor, it reflects on his entire cabinet.
218-7762. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, it reflects on the entire cabinet where names from cabinet ministers are being called now in certain alleged wrongdoings.
Correct. Welcome, caller.
Caller, good night.
Hello. Good night, Victor and crew.
Safraz, yeah.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Victor, Freeport here, why?
Yeah, Freeport. Go ahead.
Yeah, what's going on? How it is, all you expect to get rid of the PNM, half of the UNC fighting for Kamala to be the next leader, and the next half of the UNC fighting for Kamala's seat. Do you think you will get support?
Right. So, thank you, caller. Freeport, let me tell you this. I don't care who fighting for Kamala's seat. What I care about is to bring the facts to the people of this country, where the people would be able to make an informed decision as to who becomes the next government in this country. That is my mission. People will always have political ambition. People will always want to be the leader, a leader. Always. You can't get away from that. People will fight to make themselves established.
Relevant.
Some will try to make themselves relevant, who is not. Some will bad talk, some will old talk. All that the UNC have passed the test. They have stood out against that behavior since the inception of Basdio Pandey. So that is neither here nor there with me. Who had a fight, let it fight. Who had a settle, let it settle.
But Victor, I want to say this, right? And again, we keep hearing it. First of all, we want to make the point very clearly that there is no room for a third party in Trinidad and Tobago.
Correct. Caller, load on your radio, please, sir, ma'am, whoever, load on your radio, please. Welcome.
Mr. Victor?
Yes, sir.
You feel those 200 and more recusal from the cabinet, you feel that is joke those people making, or that is a circle, and I don't know how to put it, but that is what causing that in this country, eh? It means they make money, and they have money, and they could do anything.
So caller, what you saying is that when they fill their pockets, they feel that they become invincible, and then they feel that they can break the law and nothing will happen to them. That's what you're saying? You gone? Okay, like the caller went there. But Vic, I was saying that
after this one.
Okay, sure.
Welcome, caller.
Hello.
Yes, caller. Radio, load on, radio, please, thanks.
Hello, Victor.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
But I just have they're talking now. How do they hear me? I want to make a statement.
Press
They hear you?
Go ahead,
yeah, caller, go ahead, but you have to load on your radio too. You get enough feedback here.
Huh?
You have to load on your radio.
All right, you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Right. I just heard Victor and this fellow from Aramwez. He can't start talking about land in Waterfield. Right? You hear me?
Caller, you go ahead. We hearing you.
We hearing you. Go ahead now.
Right. The people they talk about carrying 75. Masters for 20 years and 30 years and they get nothing. Right? He just called the station and say they get nothing. Me tell you when they want to call a radio station and Corky and everyone to get the land for them, why they don't make form a group and go up there? Why they don't form a group and go up and stand up for their rights? You see what I'm saying?
Yes, caller, we hearing you. You go ahead. We hearing you.
Well, you're making a very good point. That's the point we started trying to say. People had to wake up and see what time of day it is, what this government doing to us. You're correct.
Watch me. I will tell you flat. This is our calling, you know. Indian is Indian downfall. They only talk. Say, for sit them home. And what Jesus to come, or Ram to come. You understand? Or Hanuman to come to give them. That's what there's one. Call in a station and make comments. I don't listen to you talk to him, but I don't call. But this one just tripped me because he's talking about so much he has, he's dying so much he has, he walk carrying. How much thing here get here and yet? Were you just sit down in your house and call a radio station? Ask Victor, ask Corky, ask this one, ask that one. But don't cost the Saturday night, Indian is Indian tongue fall. That way them tongue fall. You don't have to call a station. You understand what I say?
All right, caller. Don't cuss.
Caller,
I understand you.
I got nice fella, very nice fella. But I'm just telling you, they want to sit down and call a station.
And they ain't coming out and stand up for the rights.
Huh?
And they're not coming out and stand up for the rights.
Right. Why do they form a group? It's hundreds of thousands of them who get to have land in it. Why? They know what going on in our papa or what I feel. Why do they form a group and go up a bit tomorrow? Huh?
Well, I want to say this, sir. I want to say this, that whenever people... You still online? No. Oh, you gone? All right. Whenever people fighting, and it happened to the PNM in 2010, Victor, when Patrick Manning was being opposed by Rowley, and they started a fight amongst themselves, they lost the general election. The caller is absolutely correct. Whenever you fight amongst yourself, you weaken your position, and this is where we're calling for all opposition forces to unite to beat this monster called the PNM.
Welcome, caller.
Yes, it's Silver Fox here.
Yeah, Fox.
Yes, Silver Fox.
Good night, the panel and everybody. Now, everybody, Rowley must go. And we only sit down watching one another. Rowley must go. Now, all you really want Rowley to go? Let me tell you how to get Rowley to go. All other car drivers come out from San Fernando to Port of Spain, turn off all the engine. All you have no gas. All your car buy gas. Right? Block the roads with all the vehicle. What they gonna do with it? What they gonna do? It don't even have police and army to clear that. Rowley will have to go. But we just can't be singing a tune, making a road march. Rowley must go. We have to make Rowley go. I tired here about this man. It's time for this man to get out people's face. Just imagine, nobody wants him. He know that. But just through corruption, he can't get out of it. Just through corruption. Let us shut down all the vehicles in the road. Shut them down. Wind up your grass. You don't even have police for all of that. All you could get rid of this man so easy. Nobody don't have to come out on the road and risk themselves. Just shut down all them vehicles, every vehicle, from truck, backhoe, everything in the road. Shut them down. Thank you.
And Silver Fox, I want to thank you for your comment and your contribution. You are correct. The people have been sleeping for too long, and we are begging everybody, please wake up and see what's happening. Our country is slipping.
Welcome, caller.
Hello.
Go ahead, caller. Good night.
Hello.
Go ahead, caller. Go ahead.
We are hearing you, caller. You make your contribution, please.
Listen. I am the former county worker who called a while ago. Are you listening?
Yes, sir. You go ahead.
Yes, caller. We are hearing you.
We formed groups and we went to BC about 6 times between Castle and we spoke to officials. It's not that we call it from the region and making mistakes. We formed groups and we went 6 times. I am not, the point I'm trying to make is, I'm not against people getting land, but why it is. My point is priority should be given to the ex-county workers. I'm not making mischief.
Caller, we agree with you. Currently, 1975 workers have worked so hard. You have worked hard and by an agreement, legally binding agreement, you were promised certain things. And the fact is that those promises have not been delivered up to now to the county workers. Some county workers have committed suicide, waiting for what is entitled to them. Some county workers have died. And the process is in limbo now because there's no documentation to state that person was getting plot A or plot B or plot C. And that is where we are right now. So you're correct. This whole kind of 1975 thing has been a mess.
218-7762. You have the option to call now. We will take some calls before we continue. And I agree. The caller said that they had formed groups and went, and to no avail. Speaking to Tom, Dick, Harry, Patsy, Lucy, nothing happening. So you see, again, when you reach the end of the road where nothing is happening, then you have to decide what course of action to take. And this is what the country is calling for.
The country is crying out.
Is calling for a particular course of action to be taken lawfully and to bring this country to a standstill. And if you're all satisfied, take the call and don't study me. Callers comes first. Welcome, caller.
Hello, good night, guys.
Yes, sir, good night.
Well, I actually saw your on your radio on the highway there going out to Shogunas now. First time today I see it. So, as pertaining to the land, when I was growing up, right, I used to live in Nogamba, right, in Safraz there. And we used to plant, it had lands behind our house, but we used to plant on it. And that time was Home Construction Limited. I promised the people who was planting on the land first preference to buy the land now. It was carry land. There was offers, first preference to buy land. And the then government, PNM government, went behind the back and sold Home Construction the land. And they came just so and that bulldozer, my grandmother crops everything and tell us the land is private land, no, we can't plant it again. And HCL ended up building houses on it. The deputy extraction planning did that. That was in the 1990s. I would never forget that. I would never forget that.
Thank you, caller. So you see what's happening? He said that they're supposed to get the first preference to buy, and the government sell out the lands. Welcome, caller.
Hello, good night, Mr. Victor.
Yes, sir, good night.
And to the other brother on the panel, Victor, let me tell you something, my brother. Now, I didn't really want to call them. I just want to put this in the public domain. These kind of things that I hear you all are speaking about pertaining governing of this country that politicians are doing. Now, you know the UNC can't do these things here. You know the UNC cannot and will not make the attempt to do some of the things. Now, last night I realized I heard you all are making certain statements towards the PNM ministers and the land, this and whatever the case could be. But I hear the Prime Minister try to see if he could explain why he defending these positions of these ministers of his own. Why they are not facing these people to answer these questions on their own. Why? What it is they're hiding from the people? Am I coming across on your frequency still?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You go ahead.
You're making a very valuable contribution, sir. You continue. We would like to add to this.
We're not interrupting. You go ahead.
No, I would like this country to be aware of what is going on. I also heard with Brother Wayne Mark making certain statements on platform in this country. And I'm speaking to the good learning judge, the magistrate, all these well-to-do people who born and grew in Trinidad and Tobago. Will you all like any other government to come into office and do some of the things that we are seeing taking place here? And you hear in the opposition, none of the newspapers just barely want to highlight the things that come out of people's mouths, such as Victor Roberts, and Roberts, Mr. Murilal, and Ms. Jolene John. These people are making certain statements on national radio here, and it's just passing just like that, because I don't know if it's a walk in the park for the PNM, but I want the PNM to know, whenever Trinidad and Tobago destroy, you will not be able to blame the UNC for it. Because I heard Mr. Wayne Mark said, from 2010 to 2015, they never interfere with the gas hike and gas price in this country. Nobody in test that, nobody in asking nothing about that. Notice how much time you raise gas in this country. Right now, people still driving the car because they ain't feel the real heat of this. Because, for instance, the taxi service will take a nosedive in this country, because when you carry the morning rush to work and the afternoon rush back home, during the course of the day, it have nothing going on the streets in the country, because people only go in when they have to. Why you bring my country like that? You think Kamala Prasad, the Society People Partnership, could do that?
Caller.
Uh-huh.
Very, very excellent contribution. Which area are you calling from, by the way?
Well, I call him straight out of the corridor. Right now, I am in Lavantil, okay? And when I say I'm in Lavantil, I don't want people to feel I'm one of them people who just support the PNM. I'm 60 years of age and I never vote for the PNM. I support the National Joint Action Committee because in 1970, we was not fighting against the Indians to live in unity, you know. It's the black man government that say we was fighting against Dr.
Correct.
Eric Williams.
Correct.
I will leave space for our next caller.
Caller, before you go, caller, just a bit. Before you go, right? Now, I am agreeing with everything you say. I would also like to add that under Kamala Prasad Bisesa, for any time an allegation was made against a minister, Victor, what was the first thing that was happened? Clear him, resign your position. If you don't resign, I am firing you. So,
but I want to say this. I want to say this.
Yeah.
No, Kamala Prasad Bisesa creates history in the Caribbean, in the Westminster politics. She was the first prime minister was putting ministers away from office when you have allegations towards you. Look at the kind of thing we hear going in this country. I want PNM to know we're not forgetting this. And I want to say this before I go. The machinery that you have to use to beat the PNM, with all the bad work what they're doing here right now, you see the machinery used in 2010? You see that machinery? If you all forget that machinery, I will remind you all as time go by. Let them call the day. Just bring the day. There's no how Dr. Rowley could win that thing. And I want the people to know, if you find them in any wrong position, seize the assets and put it back to the state. Put back the assets to the state, because I watch this whole Clico thing, everything destroy here. We watch people close down petrol in here, and people take that like a walk in the park. I don't know, those people who take it for a walk in the park, I want them to go to the doctor and take out your for the walk. Good night, Trinidad and Tobago.
Good night, caller from Lavender, and thank you very much. Very, very excellent contribution. Next caller.
Welcome, caller.
Yeah, good night. Good night, Comrade Victor and the other guy there.
Good night, sir.
I don't know.
Good night, brother.
Okay, so Victor, you remember Patrick Manning had a vision where he built all those government. They had a big word for it. The only horizon building that he built, a government building, where the Attorney General office and all these places was. Well, in you know, I if a man do some good, I give credit to him, right? The reason why he was building all them building, and that was the reason he got fired by the hierarchy. I'll come to that. You know, he was building all them buildings, so government will have government buildings and not a rent from party financiers, right? So when push come to shove after the construction of the building, remember they called him somewhere up in Goodwood Park, and poor fella was to go up there and hang his head in shame, and that was it for Patrick Manning, right? So, but this up come this dictator Rowley, you know. So he have money to pay Faris al rentals. Their big money, their big check every month, and all the other financiers, you know, who they rented buildings from, and so on. So, but they don't have money to help school children with their lunch, or people with their social welfare cards and all this kind of thing, which is I mean, if these PNM sycophants and them, they can't see that, boy. I mean, they're so drunk on Bally's juice that they cannot see that. I don't know, boy. It baffled me. They dumbfounded and they have no brain to see what really going on in the country.
Caller.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I have not heard it myself, but people have told me that PNM supporters claim that they prefer to suffer under Rowley than to benefit under Kamala Prasad Bisesa. Imagine that.
Well, that goes on. What you're saying is right, eh? They are saying that, and they would say that, and that goes on a different road, eh? You know where that road going on to? I have dealt with all level of people in this country, right? And you know, that is because of racialism, you know. They would not support
Kamla Prasad Bisesa, that is the PNM Sekofan I'm talking about, because she's an Indian, you know. The only reason, the only reason why they didn't like she a little bit because she was giving them benefits, right? But when push come the shop, they all that, Rowley come and take away all that, and they tell Rowley nothing. Look at the benefits this lady was offering to the social welfare problem.
Kola.
Yes.
We have to go for a break, but I just want to tell you this, right, before I go. The United National Congress, this is where, in the studio here, you have a warrior, African brother from Labre, an ex-African brother, Jeffrey. Victor and Jeffrey from Labre, south of Trinidad. Linking up with an East Indian brother from St. Joseph, Safraz Ali, through the United National Congress, which is an all-encompassing party.
We see it that way, but them Sycophant and Lavandale, they don't see it that way. We for that, we for harmony, a racial harmony, but them Lavandale people, boy, them are for a different breed. Thanks.
Okay, Kola, you take care. And I just want to say that Lavandale people are good people. And we hope, Victor, that the Almighty bless the Lavandale and the East-West Corridor and all the whole of Trinidad and Tobago to realize that this government is taking us down. And they say good always triumph over evil, and we pray to the Almighty that we get rid of this evil, wicked government and bring back goodness to our country. On that note, we would like to take a break. Victor, you want to say anything before you go? When we come back, more. Take care.
Come to the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Black Rock, Tobago. Great ambience, fantastic prices, all COVID protocols observed. Full premium bar available. Call Waves at 731-4646 to make your reservation. Come dine with the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Black Rock, Tobago. You must be vaccinated to dine in.
My parents' generation grew up with Royal Castle. From the first restaurant in 1968, when that distinctive, tempting aroma hit the air, they just couldn't resist. And like never before, fried chicken with a special blend of local seasonings and a one-of-a-kind flavor down to the bone. Today, Royal Castle still have that same delicious taste, and I love it too. The kids can't resist it either. Plus, they have more to enjoy. For me, the castle is more than just nice food. It's we own, part of me and you, and is the real flavor of TNT.
Fabindia Expo at the White Tent opposite Medford gas station, Shogunas, will be closing on Monday, May 23rd. Check out our unique bridal collection or even dresses to attend the wedding, handicrafts, footwear, jewelry, furniture, and so much more. All in one store. Perfect place for Mother's Day shopping and outing. Enjoy delicious authentic Indian food at Tandoori King, Star Hakka, and Dosa Diner. Newly opened Bombay Chaat, Pani Puri, and lots more. Fabindia Expo opposite the Medford gas station, Shogunas. Check us out. We're open from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m.
La Penca and Bees Hi-Fi presents Return to Real Rock Sunday, 22nd May, time 5 p.m. Featuring the Anarchists, Code Black, and Life Force, together with Bees Hi-Fi. We gonna rock. Come on down to La Penca, Sunday, May 22nd, 5 p.m. Tickets only $50. For tickets, please call Bees 779-1663, Code Black 359-1843, Anarchist 385-4315, or La Penca 373-3453. Return to Real Rock.
It's the grand opening of Matai Imports Limited new showroom at Hassan Ali Trace, Lower Barrackpore. All pickups, cars and bikers are invited. Sunday 15th May from 2 p.m. till 10. For more information, call 391-3043. It's the grand opening of Matai Imports Limited new showroom at Hassan Ali Trace, Lower Barrackpore. Sunday 15th May from 2 p.m. till 10. Also a special guest appearance by the 4x4 man, Kenneth Salik.
The girl leave me for a man with a big van. She don't wanna pay the wagon. She looking for a 4-wheel van.
The Grand Coulon Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock. Bed and breakfast rates available. To book, call 283-2597 or 463-2946. The Grand Coulon Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock.
Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica.
Opening hours.
Saturday 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m.
Sundays 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. When you think about fresh produce and good quality food, come to Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica.
Welcome back as we wind down our program tonight. It has been alive, it has been on fire. We spoke about the land issues, all with one common denominator, Mr. Foster Cummins, MP, who will be holding some type of workshop tomorrow with the Waterfield farmers. We spoke about that. We just have a few more minutes again, and we will allow probably two calls again, and we will close off here for tonight.
218-7762, 218-7762.
That's the number. Please call in to register your comment.
Well, by the time you're waiting for them to call, I must say tonight that Trinidad and Tobago have an opportunity before them. Take the call. Welcome, caller.
Yeah, good evening. Gentlemen, I've been listening to you all for a while. For the longest while. I love Arnold. I love Silver Fox. And you see what he just said there about shutting down the country, blocking the highways? I agree with that. We need to do something like that. Seriously. That's the only way we will get another election. We need to get this government out. Seriously, I'm suffering like a lot of other people in this country. And we need to do something like that. Block the highways. Block it like France and the other countries in the world. We need to do it. Get Rowley out. Thank you. Thank you, Silver Fox.
And we agree with that this Rowley-led administration has right roughshod over these citizens. Welcome, caller.
Yeah, Mr. Victor, I call back again. I don't know if again I delay program because I hear any program going on one side of my ear, so probably I'm going to be come on to it late. I don't know how far you all reach in the program, but I know heard our brother spoke about that half of the people fighting for Kamala to win and the next half of the UNC fighting for Kamala's seat. You hear me, Claire?
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you. It have a delay, but we hearing you.
Yeah, I want you to hear this. Now I want these people who fighting and play the fighting, you see the opposition, you see the 19 seats that they have in this country here, it will not fade away. So all who fighting and playing kuchar and making backhand on the opposition side, take this in your pipe and smoke it. Only thing could happen to that 19 seat, it could increase. It cannot decrease. So all it takes is ease up. And let me try to get rid of this administration. If you all make them go to 2000, and if only make them go 25 to 25, all you would like to see the state of this country have to stop this man this year, bring him back to the poll this year, new mandate this year. Good night, Trinidad and Tobago.
Welcome, caller. Well said, caller. Well said. Yep. You have made a very valid point, and that is what we know. So we're not worrying too much with the set of old talk and the PNM propaganda that continue to spread throughout the length and breadth. Welcome, caller.
Good night, gentlemen.
Good night,
sir.
You know, I hear you all saying that Kamala, tell people go clear your name when the accusation or alleged accusation was made against them and come back. But she didn't just do that because Rowley and them say that. There were evidence because she keep them long. And she said, go clear your name and come back. Roberts went and he cleared his name and he's back.
No.
And the evidence from the man's investigation on Jack Warner, he can't get away. That is why he can't step in the American embassy. So he can't clear his name, he has to remain right there and battle his own thing outside. Because when they lock up the 14 men in Zurich, who was in the hotel who belongs to FIFA,
Jack wanna get a message not to come in that meeting. That's how he get away and remain in Trinidad. Too much evidence outside there against him. But so Kamala didn't just say, okay, you make somebody make accusation against me, and she said, okay, you get suspended. No. If you go back to here, you will see where the evidence was overbearing. And she said, clear your name, because accusation is not evidence. Go clear your name and come back. And I was listening to a call-in program on the television where a senior superintendent is the host. And a lady called and telling him, Mr. Roberts, that she make a call in a certain police station about wrongdoing in her street. And when she reached home, the person that she made the report against calling her and threatening her. You know what that senior superintendent telling that lady? Go and get plenty of your friend and family and call the station. So let me see how much let him go give the bad man the message. Oh gosh, you are senior superintendent. They have all police stations have an inspector or a sergeant in charge. You couldn't pick up your phone and call that station where she tell her she called and find out who was the sentry. Today, Thursday, the so-and-so date, the so-and-so time. This lady come there and make a report. Who was the sentry police officer? Take that. And one time, you know who sell out the lady? Not so, gentlemen? All the station asked the inspector was Victor Roberts at Sentry at 2:15 on Thursday. Yes, he was. Well, he sell out the lady. Suspend him or bring him up. Ask him how do people know about that?
Kola, some of them.
Have a nice day, gentlemen.
Thank you, Kola. Some of them get a position because of strength and height, not because of brain and education.
Well, Vic, I want to say, let me close off the calls there because we commented close to the program. I would like to say this, Trinidad and Tobago. We seeing it, we feeling it, we hearing it, but what are we doing about it? And the it I'm speaking about is the wrongdoing of this government. The amount of oppressive policies, they're making poor people suffer. There's no more middle class again under this PNM government. They obliterated the middle class status. There's the poor and the rich. And according to Rowley, as I began the program, Rowley said he wanted to make the rich get richer. He said that. Right? Not me. I would like to state this, Trinidad and Tobago. We in the studio here, we raise up our hand and we say, enough is enough. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to delve in that you didn't get a seat, or you didn't get selected for this board, you didn't get selected by this under Kamala, and you will hold the party in mind? Are you going to state that Rowley for life, I prefer to suffer under Rowley than to benefit under Kamala? You prefer that? You prefer that for your children? Ask yourself, be honest to yourself, Trinidad and Tobago. Ask yourself, what is there for my children? Again, is there a future for my children in Trinidad and Tobago under this PNM government? We see where UA is going to carry up, they're considering carrying up their price. I think they're going to carry up their price at tuition. Very soon, we will come back to the 80s where parents could not have afforded to send their children for a tertiary level education. Under Rowley, we are suffering. COVID spreading, they totally mishandle this. Look, crime out of control. And we have the minister saying some stupid comments. How much more are we going to take again? My friends, we in the studio here, Victor Roberts, Jeffrey, myself, we have decided enough is enough. And we will fight for our country by all legal means. We are asking, we are begging you to do the same thing too. Just today, in St. Joseph, Victor and Jeffrey, we had a fundraising barbecue. The St. Joseph executive, led by our fantastic chairman, Councillor Amit Suknanan, and Vice Chairman Jalen Rupnarain, another councillor for the Kura Paje area, together with Councillor Seema, Councillor Raquel from Elscorangas North, myself, Youth Officer Shiv, Women's Affairs Officer Janelle Ramsran, all of us, the whole executive, Mr. Marin, we came together. We said we will hold a barbecue to raise funds for our community. Because we have nothing to get under the PNM. And enough is enough. And we did the barbecue, dog tired. Our bones hurting us because from yesterday we were cleaning chicken. Today whole day we were barbecuing. Ryan and his crew, big up to you, brother. In hot sun, Ryan and 3 other fellas barbecued 1,200 pieces of chicken. 1,200 pieces of chicken. And these are the citizens who are standing up together with our coordinator, Anil Roberts, with our campaign manager, Mr. Vishnu Kunkun, with William Archie, Alan Karim, Lisha Dore, Adam Rahim. These are people, activists, who are standing up and saying enough is enough. Jermaine, Dolores, Chris, Hussein, right? And we want you all to stand up with us also. Our MP for Barata, Saddam Hussein, is having an Eid function in at the Wilshire Recreation Ground, which is Don Miguel Savannah. Don Miguel is right after El Scoro Road, heading westwards. And he is inviting each and everyone to come out to that Eid function. It's a family event. Come out, you'll see. You'll have a lot of games for the children. You'll have sweets. You'll have nice grilled food. Come out and enjoy. Be part of it. Saddam Hussein, Victor and Jeffrey, he has been championing the cause of the people in Barata, Sawa and the wider nation through his sterling contributions in Parliament. Well done, Saddam Hussein. Well done, Anil Roberts. Well done, all the UNC MPs and senators. David Nakid. I can't stop mentioning Senator Anil Roberts, Jolene John, Wade Mack, Damian Lyda, Senator Jayanti. Keep dropping your bomb, sister, and keep strong. The entire nation is behind us and behind you, because you are fighting for accountability and transparency and fighting the corruption in this government. Trinidad and Tobago, we need to wake up. Wake up, because if we don't wake up, Victor and Jeffrey, it'll be too late for our children. We're doing this for our children. We need to get this right. Somewhere this year there will be local government. Let us vote the PNM out in all corporations, where Rowley will be forced to call the general soon after. And let us take Rowley out of this government, because clearly he doesn't care about us. He cares about himself. Thank you, Trinidad and Tobago. God bless. Take care. Be safe. Say a prayer for us. We say a prayer for you. And good will always triumph over evil. Remember that. Just believe in your Almighty Creator. Put your faith and trust in Him, and stand up for what is right. Thank you very much. God bless.
Good night.
Good night.
Time has come. New 97.5. Make it your choice. Something for everyone. 97.5 FM. Music for you. It's all about you.
New 97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.